What's going on with the World Boxing Super Series?
Yeah, we announced
I'm the biggest fan of the World Boxing Super Series.
I know. It is a tough time for tournaments, and tournaments. There's only really one real tournament in boxing, but it's tough. It's tough at the moment to make that season fit with the different territories and the pandemic. I know in the UK, as I said, Johnson cancelled Corona, but for example, in Germany at the moment, it's still impossible to promote. I mean, feasible events that fit the World Boxing Super Series, as an example. So, I think around the end of this year will be hopefully the announcement of the lineup, and there we're very, very advanced, and you know it's great to be doing it with the women on as a standalone. And we said, look, we did 2 in season 1. We did the super mids and the cruisers, of course. We did in the second season. We went with the cruisers, the super lightweights and the bantams, and then obviously Corona hit, and we managed to get that final out between the lockdowns, which we were delighted to do, and it was a great final with Breedis and Dorticos. But then we sort of said, well, yeah, but this tournament, we're going to have to focus on a weight and just get that to keep the tournament feeling going. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're doing with the females. So, watch this space. But we are a couple of months off that, to be honest. That's the difference between promoting an event and a Champions League of boxing. As simple as that. It is more complicated. You have factors in there that you can't control. I can't control if there's a Korean fight and a French girl in the quarterfinals, and I've got to make a plan for maybe an event in France in the semi-final, or is it in Korea? And the whole journey of where the tournament should be going, which is normally quite easy to do, is a moving target, and it's an extremely complicated one. But it is getting better. We're not moaning, because I think the world is in extra time with COVID. That's my feeling, on a personal note, and I think that will rub off on everything around our business. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine it being quite difficult, because one of the things that the World Boxing Super Series has always done very well is tell the story throughout the tournament. So, for example, season 1 that we just spoke about there with the super middles, having Eubank following Groves and knowing where those fights are going to be and being able to tell that story, which obviously is taken away by the uncertainty during the pandemic.
It absolutely. And what's the worst thing when you're watching a movie or reading a book is having a break from it. And that's not what we want, Some people said, "Oh, season 2, that took too long." I said, "Well, no, it didn't." The 2 finals pre-pandemic were within 12 months of their first fight, so they had 3 top fights in 1 year. Yeah,
which is not
at that level. That is forget the pandemic. Just remember there was a time before the pandemic, and that's the storytelling power of the World Boxing Super Series. The storytelling power was in season 1. Chris Eubank Jr. blowing away Yildirim in Turkish Germany, with Galatasaray flags, and walking through there with a Union Jack and cold as ice, knocking him cold out. And a week later, us sitting in Wembley Arena, George Groves defeating Jamie Cox, Eubank Jr. getting in that ring, and we all knew at that stage, right, massive UK semi-final in the MEN. It's going to be all guns blazing, but we knew that at the time. That was what made that semi-final. If you would have put Groves versus Eubank outside the tournament, big fight, no doubt about it, big fight. Now I can promote both of them, and it would have been a huge fight, but nothing like the storyline that set it up through the tournament, knowing that the place in the final was at stake, etc., etc. So those storylines you need to have within a direct touching distance of each other, and not the dynamics have moved on the tournament. We go, well, we gotta look at the regulations in this country and that unfortunately that is still a case in certain places.